Dear colleagues and friends, good morning to all of you. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the regional consultation on the post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework for Latin America and the Caribbean region, which takes place in the beautiful port city of Montevideo. We are honored to be hosted here, and I would like to express my deep appreciation to the government of Uruguay through its Ministry of Housing, Territorial Planning and Environment for hosting and also co-organizing this very important meeting. Dear colleagues, our recent meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Convention on Biological Diversity, held in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt in November last year, formally unleashed the preparatory process for the crafting of a post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework, which includes the series of regional and thematic consultations for all parties and stakeholders. In January, the first regional consultation for the Asia-Pacific region was held in Nagoya in Japan. Subsequently, the consultation for Western Europe and Others Group, for Africa and the Central and Eastern Europe region recently took place, all resulting in extremely interesting discussions. We are here today to take the next step on the road to COP15 in China in 2020. We will deliberate on the successes and challenges of our collective efforts to safeguard life on Earth through the implementation of the 2011-2020 Strategic Plan for Biodiversity, and to also provide input for the design of an ambitious but solid and achievable milestone towards 2050 vision agreed by the CBD parties, and also to confirm to stay as our long-term goal. As decided by the COP14 in Egypt, the process benefits from the guidance of the two co-chairs appointed by the parties, Mr. Basile van Havre and Mr. Francis Ogwal. They are attending and are supporting all consultations. One of the first steps in this process was the release of an initial document based on submissions that summarizes and analyzes the initial views of the parties and observers on possible elements for a post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework. This document provides a foundation for the work you will do together here in Montevideo and will be presented to you by the two co-chairs. Following these regional consultations, an updated discussion document will be prepared, incorporating the elements and themes that have emerged from your discussions. Over the next 20 months, we expect a series of thematic consultations to also take place, including on gender, including on synergies, but also mainstreaming and other subjects that are important to the Convention. The results of these consultations will then feed into the work of the open-ended intersessional working group. And you will hear from the co-chairs about their plans for the first and subsequent meetings of the open-ended working group. The post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework will be powered by your dreams, your ideas, your expertise and practical experience to design a transformative pathway to enable humanity to reach the vision of living in harmony with nature by 2050. And I encourage you to be an active participant to the entire meeting, including in the small group sessions, as well as in the next steps of this process. Dear friends, how can a post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework facilitate, enable, and ensure that each of us in our own countries, in our own societies, economies, and communities, in our organizations and businesses, take the necessary actions to safeguard life on Earth? This is the biggest question in front of us. And how we will ensure that ecosystems, species, and genes are valued, conserved, restored, and wisely used, as we all agreed in the 2050 vision. Again, this is the question in front of us. It's a pressing question, and the answer depends on your expertise and your creativity and on your hard work. What we discuss, what we decide and deliver through these consultations will set the stage for our collective efforts in the coming decades. And these efforts, in turn, will determine our success or our failure and ensure life will continue as we know it on this beautiful planet Earth. I therefore urge you to take this opportunity and this responsibility to think creatively and ambitiously, but also practically, so we may pave the way to a brighter future for all. With that, I would like to thank you all for being here to engage in these very important discussions, and I wish you an excellent and fruitful meeting over the coming days. Thank you.